Peter and his younger sister Julia loved playing in their backyard garden. It was a little sanctuary filled with blooming flowers, chirping birds, and a small pond where they could spend hours lost in their imaginations. This particular afternoon, they were pretending to be adventurers exploring an uncharted island. Julia, with her innocent smile and bright laughter, was the pirate captain, while Peter played the role of her loyal first mate. Suddenly, the peace was shattered by ferocious barking. From the corner of the garden, a large, intimidating dog appeared, its eyes fixed on Julia. She froze, her eyes wide with fear. Without a second thought, Peter's protective instinct kicked in. He dashed across the lawn, placing himself between the dog and his sister. Raising his arms to appear larger and more intimidating, he shouted, "Get away!" The dog hesitated, sniffing the air as if trying to decide what to do next. With each heartbeat thundering in his chest, Peter yelled again, this time with more authority, "Go home!" The dog's barking turned to growling, and it took a reluctant step back. Just then, Mrs. Harris from the neighboring house rushed over, calling out to the dog. "Max! Come here, boy," she shouted. The dog, Max, recognizing his owner's voice, reluctantly turned and trotted back to her. Mrs. Harris apologized profusely, explaining that Max had slipped out of the gate when she was taking out the trash. Peter, still shielding his trembling sister, nodded and said it was okay. He turned to Julia and hugged her tightly, wiping away the tears streaming down her cheeks. "It's all right, Julia. You're safe now," he reassured her softly. That evening, as they sat down for dinner, their parents praised Peter for his bravery. Julia clung to Peter's arm, her admiration for her big brother shining brightly. Peter had always known he had to look out for his sister, but today he had proved it beyond a doubt. From that day on, whenever Julia felt scared or unsure, she would remember how her brother had stood up for her, and it gave her strength. And Peter learned that being an older brother meant more than just playing games, it meant being a protector, a guardian, and a hero in the eyes of someone who trusted him completely.